care about very much. And sometimes I'm puzzled, and I ask myself why. This is the Africa that is changing, that Chris alluded to. This is the Africa of opportunity. This is the Africa where people want to take charge of their own futures and their own destinies.
She was an instrument in spearheading initiatives that addressed poverty and promoted economic growth in developing countries, particularly in Africa, Asia, and Latin America. Answering the call to serve her homeland, Ngozi became Nigeria's finance minister twice, from 2003 to 2006 and again from 2011 to 2015, becoming the first woman to hold this position. She also briefly served as Nigerian foreign minister in 2006. During her tenure, she implemented critical reforms to combat corruption and stabilize the economy. Notably, she led negotiations that resulted in the cancellation of $30 billion of Nigeria's external debt, a monumental achievement that improved the nation's financial standing. Beyond Nigeria, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala has been a formidable force on the global stage. She chaired the board of Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance, from 2016 to 2020, playing a pivotal role in improving access to immunization in low-income countries. In March 2021, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala made history by becoming the first woman and the first African to serve as Director General of the World Trade Organization. In 2022, Dr. Ngozi joined the Group of 30 known as G30, an independent body of distinguished policy makers from around the world. In November 2024, she was reappointed to serve a second term as Director General of the World Trade Organization. Dr. Ngozi's contributions have earned her numerous accolades. She holds honorary degrees from prestigious institutions and has received national honors. She is listed as one of the 50 greatest world leaders, the top 100 most influential people in the world, the top 100 thinkers, the top 3 powerful women in Africa, and many more. Despite the global responsibilities, Ngozi remained deeply connected to her family. She is married to Dr. Iyemba Iweala, a neurosurgeon, and together they have 4 children, including Uzodimma Iweala, an acclaimed author. Her life story serves as an inspiration, demonstrating that integrity, perseverance, and vision can drive transformation. Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala's journey reflects profound impact one individual can have on the world. Her legacy continues to inspire new generations of leaders.
VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice.
2564 is coming up on Barney 9, right?
The 2564 Atlantic Tower.
What happens in the hush behind hangar doors? Who signs the papers that gamble with lives? Which truths were grounded before they even ever had wings? If you've ever buckled a seatbelt at 30,000 feet, if you've ever stared out of that tiny window and wondered who's really in control of the skies, it isn't just flight, it's power, it's politics, it's pressure sealed in steel. We're peeling back the clouds from runway risks to sky-high secrets. We're diving deep where most dare not to look. Aviation Scope, every Sunday at 7 p.m. only on Voice of the People TV. We don't just report, we reveal. We don't just ask, we uncover. Because when it comes to the skies, ignorance is turbulence. Aviation Scope, the sky isn't the limit, it's just the beginning.
In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe! Hunger no get religion!
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues, on Voice of the People Television, Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. The Issues. Don't just react, understand.
Good evening, Africa. My name is Bamakore, actor, model, producer, and I'm giving a big shout out to VOP TV, man. Keep watching. Don't change the dial. Thank you and God bless you.
My name is AY, and of course, I represent the voice of the people, and that's why I'm on VOP. AY say so.
Hi everyone, it's your girl Miriam Tima from the Real Housewives of Lagos and the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Africa. Shout out to VOP, the voice of the people. You already know. Stay tuned, keep watching. And don't forget, VOP is the best.
All right, hello, it's a boy that's shaking the man fine back with Melanie Poppy Black Skin Boy. This is VOP TV. If you're not watching VOP, I don't know why you're watching. Maybe you're watching your weight. Bye.
Hello, beautiful people. This is Wale Ojo, and you're watching VOP, Voice of the People.
Hi, guys. You already know who it is. This is New Energy. Flyers boy ever live. Keep watching VOP TV. Thank you.
Hi, people. Jenny Albano here. Guys, please keep watching Voice of the People.
Welcome to the locker room, the home of football talk that matters. I am Jerry Arpeon. Join us every weekday, Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. Nigerian time, as we share the hot takes and hot debates in the exciting world of football. And joining me are the usual suspects, Ikechukwu and Mayowa, as we break down all the hot takes and everything that's happening in the football. Don't just watch football, live it with us. Catch us on the locker room and Voice of the People television at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And like I always say, if not 20 minutes, please the sport.
To know the happenings in the maritime sector, join us on the program Maritime Frontiers on VOP TV as we discuss key areas in the maritime sector, from aquaculture, maritime transportation, maritime labor regulation, oil and gas exploration, ferry and passenger insurance, marine pollution and prevention, port operations, and lots more. Maritime Frontiers, exploring Nigeria's blue economy.
This is African News on Voice of the People Television, where we don't just bring you the news, we bring you Africa's heartbeat, the policies that shapes our world, and the economy that determines our future. African News on Voice of the People Television. Stay with us.
Join us as we drive into the world of politics through insightful interviews with prominent political figures, both serving and former governors, ministers, senators, legislators, party chieftains, activists, and analysts. Get first-hand information into the decision-making processes that affect our daily lives. Highly engaging one-hour program that brings political discourse into focus.
I am Chukwuma Okoro.
Political Lens, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Join us.
VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
This is African News on Voice of the People Television, where we don't just bring you the news, we bring you Africa's heartbeat, the policies that shapes our world, and the economy that determines our future. African News on Voice of the People Television. Stay with us.
Voice of the people, you can hear me now. My name is Patrick Doyle, and I wish that you continue to echo the voices of the people. Big up VOP TV.
My name is Suibifa Dokubo. Please keep watching VOP TV.
Hi, my name is Kwekumali Ikenda Onyekwena, and I am with the Voice of the People TV. Now, if you're looking for the veritable channel for information, politics, robust discussions, you don't need to go far. VOP has you. VOP will always have you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Patrick Diabwa, aka Ibani Chuka. I'm Ayanabo the Eagle King, and you are watching VOP TV. Stay with us.
Uyi Osarite is my name. I am a friend of the microphone. I talk and get paid, and I look forward to being in your studios. Voice of the People TV. That name is unique, and the brand is very sweet. I like the packaging, picture qualities, camera qualities, and then of course, the quality of human beings that I see sometimes on your channel. I'll be like, well, this TV station will go places. Voice of the People TV.
Oh yes, you are on to Voice of the People TV. Live here in Benin City, the cradle of black civilization. What are you waiting for? Tune in, bro.
Hey guys, what's up? How you all doing? They call me Ovisha Nelson One, your #1 celebrity host, and you are watching Voice of the People Television, VOP. Stay tuned.
Hi, my name is Tosin Mohammed. I'm a gospel artist. Keep watching VOP TV.
Almighty Father, you are the mighty Redeemer. We've come to worship at your feet, oh Lord. This is Ayotunde Adejumo, chilling with you on the Voice of the People TV. Don't touch that remote. You are where God wants you to be, listening to the Voice of the People TV.
The Bible says we should give thanks in all circumstances, and all circumstances include the good times and the bad, the high times and the low, the times when everything look as if they are going well, and those times when Enugbe, the ground is dry like the sand in the desert, those times when you feel like giving up, you should give thanks still. My name is Jeff Melu, and I'm a gospel poet, and you should keep watching VOP TV. Don't touch that dial.
We were born to give you twale, to give you worship.
People of God, you are watching Voice of the People TV, and my name is Flo Rocker.
Hello there, welcome on board. It is People's Voice on VOP TV, where season stories shape the narrative. And of course, today we'll be dissecting a major story that is dominating the airline and sparking conversation across the nation. But the plot twist here is that we have so many conversations, disturbing us in this nation, and of course, making rounds, on social media and newspaper headlines. But we can't take everything, so we just have to, pick one or two to actually talk about. Reps amend Electoral Act, strengthen Inec powers. This is actually a very good one. Okay, so we've been calling for this and talking about, electoral reforms. But if this is the best way and, of course, the right step for them to take, it's a laudable one. And, of course, the River State man who has ceased not to amaze me, the man has been making, news for 4 or 5 days now. And I was told that he now has official live band, just like his predecessor. I was never a member of PDP, says Fubara. And I believe you would like to also, join this particular one for us to dissect this conversation together. I'm really surprised, that Fubara can make that statement, but we never can tell. He still has more statement to make as regards to that particular one. Join the conversation with experts, insights, and citizen perspective. Share your thoughts with us. I am Savior Udo. Let's look into other news stories with details. Akpabio's health not in question. Head dismiss rumor. Akpabio's head, Kenny Okolubo, has actually dismissed reports circulating on social media about Akpabio's health, calling them baseless and unfounded. Okolubo stated that Akpabio's health is quite, active and attending to his official duties. He cited similar false claims about Minister Nyesom Wike and called for stronger regulation of social media to curb misinformation. And away from that particular one, security remains top priority, says Ondo governor. It's so nice that one of my guests today happens to be, he happens to come from that particular state. So I'll be asking him more questions as regards to that particular one. That's the reason why I might not be, talking about all of these news stories, because my guests would pick any one of their choice to, reply. Ondo State Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa has reiterated that security is a top priority of his administration. He assured residents that the government is committed to protecting lives and property across the states. Aiyedatiwa made the statement during the tour of Oshe, Owo, and Akure North local government areas, where he highlighted the importance of security in the state's development. He also announced plans to rehabilitate bad roads in Oshe local government area and distribute palliative to residents ahead of Christmas. This palliative conversation is quite a serious one, but let him share the palliative first so that it will not become audio palliative where we just hear and we're not seeing it. Lawyer accuses a Lagos hospital of negligence over wife's death. Grieving lawyer Justice John has accused a gynecoscope a specialist hospital in Lagos of medical negligence and poor emergency response over the death of his wife. Akudo John, hours after childbirth, the hospital has denied the allegations, describing the incident as very unfortunate according to the hospital's proprietor. The cause of death was not the bleeding that was said, but possibly related to internal, bleeding. An autopsy by Lutz confirmed the cause of death as a hemorrhagic shock, contradicting hospital's claim of cardiac arrest. Since investigation is still ongoing, but that's quite a very, tragedy story there, and it's not a good thing for anybody to go through or to even, encounter, so. We just hope that our health sector can do better. We just want them to really, really, be accountable enough and take life very, very seriously, because I've also heard of some cases that, where some people take pregnant person to some hospital and they tell you, we cannot attend to this person until this particular amount is paid and all of that. Even when, deposit is made, or even more than, 50% is made, just for you to save the life first. But of course, some of them will say there's nothing they can do about it, and you have to refer or you have to take your person off from their facility. But I would just hope that the government will also intervene. And just if we have, our government-owned, medical centers, facilities that are doing very well, have everything working, and the doctors, nurses, matrons, they are also being taken care of properly. Some people would not even be running to, some private sectors. But that's the problem, because they just feel that sometimes they get to abandon them there. They don't attend to them, in state or federal hospitals. That's why some people want to go to private so that they can actually get, good attention. But away from that particular one, back to River State's governor clarifies financial claims. Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has stated that he left over 300 billion in the state's coffers before President Bola Tinubu declared emergency rule. And upon his return, he found more than 600 billion. Fubara reaffirmed his administration's commitment to financial discipline and transparency, assuring that all state funds are being judiciously deployed for development. He made the disclosure during a particular inauguration of the 14.2 kilometer Obodi Ozochi Road. So in just 6 months, money has actually skyrocketed, moved from over 300 billion to 600 billion. I love that magic, and we would like to hear more about it. And that means we're also expecting him to triple that particular amount, in the coming months. Of course, the first quarter of next year. Can raise security concern ahead of Christmas in northern Nigeria. The Christian Association of Nigeria in the 19 northern states and Federal Capital Territory has called on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's and of course state governors to take urgent steps to guarantee safety during the Christmas celebration. Can express deep concerns over persistent security challenges, including bandits and terrorists, which have created fear and uncertainty among citizens, especially Christians. The association urged the government to strengthen security architecture, enhance intelligence-driven operations, and deploy adequate personnel to vulnerable areas. Of course, away from that particular one, the conversation which will be taken first, of course, as soon as I introduce my guest in, I was never a member of PDP, says Fubara. The Rivers State Governor has actually mentioned so many, statements, but this particular one, he said he was never a member of People's Democratic Party, claiming he was alienated within the parties during internal crisis. Fubara made the statement after defecting to All Progressive Congress, describing his decision as one of the easiest he has made, driven by gratitude and alignment of purpose. He visited the APC National Secretariat in Abuja, where he was welcomed by party leaders. And of course, he also mentioned that he was APC by heart all through the period that he was in the PDP. To join the conversation, kindly call the number 09044732605, 09044732605. Follow us on social media at VOPTV Live. You can use the hashtag People's Voice on VOPTV, and of course, on YouTube, we're Voice of the People TV. Kindly hit the subscribe button, and together we can make our voices heard. It is time for us to go on a quick break. As soon as we return, we'll be taking that particular one, of course, of Fubara, and we'll also be talking about reps amend Electoral Act, strengthen Inec powers. Don't go nowhere, stay in place. I'll be right back. All right, welcome back to the program. It is still People's Voice and Voice of the People Television. The House of Representatives has approved amendments to Electoral Act, strengthening the power of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Inec, and tightening electoral procedures. The amendment aims to enhance transparency, improve elections conduct, and reduce post-election disputes. Key provisions include reinforcing Inec's authority over election organization, voter registration, and candidate nomination. The House deferred consideration of a contentious clause, Section 51, to a subsequent plenary. The amendments are part of efforts to overhaul Nigeria's electoral framework. We're now being joined by Mr. Obong Thompson, a journalist, and of course, a political analyst. You're welcome on board, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Savio. Thank you.
How has it been? I go to the office and I realized that it did rain around this side, but it's been raining cat and dog almost everywhere,
Yeah, we are experiencing, very unlikely weather in Lagos State all through, because Ogun State, where I just came in from, had some form of Harmattan present.
Oh, really?
But getting to Lagos, we find,
the sun is heavy.
The weather different.
Some places it's raining, and some other, it's sun. But If Amatan wants to come, please, Amatan, we need you because we can't really wait. It's long overdue. And of course, we have a season reporter and a senior political analyst in the studio, Mr. Dele Fanimo. You're welcome on board, sir.
Good evening, Nigerians.
Just Nigerians, sir. You didn't even greet me.
Are you Ghanaian?
Of course, I'm part of Nigerians as well. But
I've greeted you now.
So let me start with you, Mr. Obong Thompson. Okay, I just want us to have this, roundtable conversation as regards to this, this two situation that is on the table, this wonderful afternoon. But first, let's even talk about the Fubara, the overnight governor, because I see no reason why Fubara should, start, making, will I say, unguarded statements to an extent. And I don't know if he's not listening to some advisors, because he went to commission a particular road and he didn't stop there. He started reading the lyrics of songs, to the live band, what they should sing. That if you want to support the president, support him. Don't go through the corners. We don't know who he's talking about, And he also made several assertions that he has been APC member by heart. We don't know what that particular one means. Now, he came out to also say that he was never a PDP member. So on what platform did he run?
Yeah, you see what is happening in the political atmosphere of Rivers State, left most of us that so much supported the Fubara thing. A lot of Nigerians within and outside so much, supported Fubara when he was having issue with Wike, but the aftermath of all the events after the suspension has really proved to, some of these supporters, that was the support truly worthwhile because most of the things Fubara have come out about with, both saying and what we see him doing, is totally, a departure from the Fubara that we expected a young man to approach governance and politics with a unique, distinguishing, character. But in an attempt for him to join the everyday politician in Nigeria, he has to buy into some of the tendencies that has continued to bedevil Nigerians by easily surrendering. So that's why you see the effort he has made to decamp to APC. He doesn't have any other option than to, sing the praises of President Tinubu as if that was the only Messiah. He forgot that it was the Nigerians, civil liberty organizations and CIOs that stood by him. And what we actually expected after his reinstatement would have been quality and excellent, quiet governance to the people of Rivers State, such that, the Nigerian people will be so happy to have him. We had a case of Ambode. Ambode in Lagos State walked silently. He didn't make noise here and there. But you see, the fans of the people of Lagos State till tomorrow, majority, still miss his governance because you can see the development he was embarking on, spreading across Lagos with speed. Building Bega Bridge with the record time of almost 3 months. You go to Ajah Bridge, everywhere development was ongoing simultaneously and seamlessly. So we expected Fubara to come back into power and then first governance in Teto without necessarily trying to politicize every step he takes. So for him to, make all those statements, come up with a song to be sung at every of his rally, I think it's quite unfortunate, because that does not still take away anything or the way the presidency perceives him to be.
Okay.
It doesn't take that away from the presidency. They still look at him as, someone that can become a traitor at any point in time.
Okay, so I want to get this before I go to Mr. Dele. it is looking like Fubara, has made one or two agreements that we don't know, because the confidence Fubara, has been having of late is totally different ever since, he joined the APC. So is Fubara totally safe now? Will Fubara, be protected by Tinubu directly, or he still has to do everything that Wike wants?
Well, I've just made, following on from my last statement, that whatever Fubara is going about doing, it does not change, the perception the presidency has about him.
So that means the president will see him as a betrayer.
It's with what he's busy doing, trying to be inferior in his approach. It's point to the direction that this guy has not learned a lesson.
And he can't be trusted.
He can't be trusted.
Okay, let's go to Mr. Dele Fanimo. Sir, I would like you to give me your take as regards to... First, I know that when it comes to Fubara, you don't even like his conversation, because over time, you mentioned something. You said if truly Fubara actually, loved the people as per se, he shouldn't have even gone back in the first place to say that he's going back to that place, And of course, I remember he mentioned it in one of the churches he went to as a den. He said, my heart is already off that particular place. Are you not seeing that I'm looking very nice now? But all of a sudden, we saw that he traveled to go and meet the president to beg. He went, he prostrated the way we heard, allegedly, that he prostrated and said, oh, my Oga, I'm sorry, and all of that to Wike. And today, the same Fubara is carrying live band. So, Mr. Dele, what do you think, and what can you say about this particular one, saying that he has never been a member of PDP?
One of the statesmen in Britain, Winston Churchill, said, if we politicians don't believe or trust ourselves, why should the electorate trust us?
Mm.
And Jonathan also said, it's easier to wake a sleeping person than somebody who pretends to be sleeping.
Mm.
Fubara strikes me as somebody that is a very slippery politician who professes one thing and will do another thing. When he came up with, as a matter of fact, I'm better off outside of the government house than going back.
Yes.
I knew he was. As a psychologist, you see, there's something called coping behavior. When you know you cannot attain a height, the best way to cope with that height is to disdain that height, so that you can have that self-worth on the face of it. That's why sometimes when you read some people's comments on social media, it is a reflection of the opposite of what they are passing through.
Mm.
Somebody that will commit suicide tomorrow would pass off as somebody who is enjoying life this night on social media. He will go and bring all his old pictures where he's whining and dining with the powers that be. Meanwhile, he has already bought a concussion preparatory to committing suicide. So, Fubara has been oiling his inordinate ambition right from when he was the Yakata. That's why he could agree to any terms and conditions that Wike brought to the table before he became a candidate of PDP. So was he an independent candidate?
That's what we're not getting here.
If he was never a member of PDP. And when he got there, and he eventually became the governor, without spending his money, somebody bankrolled his candidacy in one election. And the first thing he did was, he didn't learn from those who rode on the crest of godfathers to positions. He felt, because he has that pseudo security of holding on to the reins of power in Rivers State, he went for Wike's Jugula And of course, Wike is a survivalist.
He's a survivalist, so.
He dealt with him roundly and squarely. And he was scampery at the end of the day. You see, politicians have a way of doing peer review the negative way. Whatever happened to you in 2023 to 2027, an astute politician will make sure that he works against it happening to him 2027 to 2031. When this cross-carpeting and all that was happening, a lot of people that didn't understand politics were saying, they bribed them 250 billion, they did this, it's all lies. Why did Adeleke take a court party? PDP, anybody that contests on the platform of PDP and Labour Party, if I am his opponent, I will go and be drinking champagne. I won't even campaign.
But Mr. Dele, what are you trying to say? Are you saying that the opposition party is not strong enough to actually go head to head with
let him be strong. All I need to get is a lawyer, even a lawyer straight out of law school who will win. Because the faction is so strong that if faction A signs your form, all I need to go to court after you have won the election is to say, faction A is not the authentic faction. That's what these people are running away from. That's why they are porting to APC. The only party that is stable today in this political era, I don't know of tomorrow, is APC, where you can contest and nobody will use technicality of who signed your form, which faction you belong to defeat you. That was what happened in Zamfara.
So are you saying that ADC is not also, strong enough?
ADC is a bedlam waiting to explode.
Okay. Since
the day ADC was unveiled, you were here in the studio when I said it's dead on arrival.
Yeah.
And I gave you the reason why it's dead on arrival. I said all those people you are seeing are John the Baptist, that Jesus will come. Did Jesus not come? And did he not take over the whole thing? And as soon as Jesus came, who remembered John the Baptist?
But notwithstanding,
that rather Jesus.
But notwithstanding, they've not actually picked anybody yet.
Do you need to tell anybody that the only person that has deep pockets is Atiku?
No, but every other person claims that they also have deep pockets. Don't forget that even Amechi said that he was, still going to do it.
Amechi is lobbying in case Atiku becomes president.
But of course, he has mentioned, he said he can still be
They didn't give me ministerial appointment in this administration. If you eventually win, I am not in any battle with you. Just remember that.
Mr. Obong, are you in support of that particular conversation that there's no a strong opposition party presently in Nigeria?
Well, we have not seen one, not any at the
with
moment.
The way they're moving up and down in Nigeria.
Because with what you see today, you might see one thing in the daytime, then another thing in the night. So the political parties, as that we were made to believe, were to get their parties rooted from the grassroots. And what we have today, PDP is in serious disarray.
Yeah.
Both at the national, the ones you have at the state, most of the states are having, some faction too. Then the ADC that is also coming on board, because of the power who grabs the presidential flag, who becomes the presidential flag bearer, they have undermined the process and the importance of building the party from the grassroots, thereby endangering the political party, such that it will be very, very difficult for them to, spring a surprise, irrespective of who becomes the flag bearer.
Okay, so just maybe we would get.
If we are to have, political parties that are ready to win election, I suggest time is a factor. They still need to build over time and then prepare the party to win election. Not
so
just
can the time you're talking about now,
overnight.
can the time, work between now to 2027? Can they meet up?
I'm looking at, 2031.
So if you're looking at 2031, that means it is just a free run for the APC again.
Sure.
All right. This is what Mr. Obok Thompson has said, and I don't know if Mr. Dele Fanimu is in support of that particular situation, but it's his final.
You don't need to go and consult a Babalawo.
Notwithstanding, we can make predictions, of course, but so many people have been talking about this. The ADCs are saying that they are stronger, they are growing stronger on a daily basis. The Labour Party, of course, I think I saw, their circular as regards to them saying that from
Have you ever
February,
seen an Agbero?
saying that they
Give
want to
up
build.
when he wants to fight with you, until you hit him a big blow and he falls to the ground and pick race.
Otherwise, he will still keep talking.
He will still talk.
He will be calling different people. Come and tell him, I'm about to wound him.
Because from the other point of view, the people that are today in APC, Atiku is someone that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu have given ticket twice under his platform, ACN and AC, to vie for presidential candidates. Then the same, El-Rufai and Ahmed, all of them, so they are all political boys of, Asiwaju.
So are you saying that loyalty can still play
in one way or the other, working?
We didn't say that. I don't know if that's what Mr. Obok Thompson is saying, but we have to move to the next conversation. We just have to move to the next conversation. So let's just go straight in. Reps amend Electoral Act, strengthen Inec's power. And of course, we've been talking about political reforms for, quite some time now. And this is actually a laudable one. If all of this particular thing that they're talking about that they want to do can really, really stand. But I would like to start with you, Mr. Dele. What are your takes?
I tried peeping into these amendments. The vital one that is very, very important, which is removing BVAS and IREF from operational to statutory mandate, was not part of it.
Meaning that if it is not available, the election should not be conducted, right?
No! Nothing like that. They were silent on it because they know that they are going to be ultimate beneficiaries.
So it's like what they want is beavers can be coming while their normal paper and forms and
beavers
can go alongside.
If it doesn't pay you, you make it comatose, and then it's not actionable. You cannot go to court to challenge it.
Yeah.
Because it's just an operational tool. It's not enshrined in the labor law. The electoral law.
Electoral law.
So that's the landmine that we are going to contend with.
So you still feel that this whole reform is, it doesn't have any, it doesn't.
Every other thing is secondary as far as I'm concerned. If the BVAS and IREF is not enshrined in the labor law as condition for accepting results of any election, not as an operational tool that Inec can dance out of trouble if you challenge it and say, we deployed, but it didn't work, and we cannot stop election. But if it is part of the electoral law, then it means wherever the IREF and BVAS fails to work, then that election would have to be postponed till when they are ready for a functional IREF and BVAS facility. But now, Rep is silent on it, so you know that it's a booby trap. So tomorrow, if they say, gentlemen, you can see BVAS is not working, but we cannot stop this election, let's go ahead. Whatever result you get. If you go to court to challenge it, it is very simple, dead on arrival.
Mr. Obok, I know that Mr. Dele has actually mentioned this some time ago as regards to, if this particular BVAS and IREF is not, the only option that should be used, that is not in support of any reforms, of course. And I was actually thinking that if they've started this particular one, they would get there. But we all saw the plenary yesterday, and it looked like they were silent as regards to that particular area, or they were not really talking about it. They touched almost, different areas. But when it got to that particular one, it became like, like they just, skipped and moved to every other thing. So I don't know, is there any hanky-panky there? Is there something that they're not telling us? Or of course, they know that if they would decide to make our election, be total dependent on IREF and BVAS, without it, there's no election. Maybe some of them feel that they might not be able to win. But of course, I would like to ask, how will the amendments to the Electoral Act improve transparency in the electoral process?
Well, it is the electoral body itself that can redeem the electoral process in Nigeria. So if they are able to put their hearts together, since the rep are making efforts, adjusting, they have given full financial autonomy to the Inec. They have extended the campaign period to 180 days against 90 days. Then also primaries. They have touched area of primaries. Then the voting. And one thing, they also need to understand is that in all of this, there is no how the reps will amend this electoral act to work against them. So the workability of all these things should be that the INEC itself should, as a matter of fact, and in an attempt to rescue the situation, also pinpoint areas that will not allow them to effectively discharge their duties. Just as Mr. Fanimo has said, why not make the
BVAS and
IREF statutory? If nothing of that, or if anything falls short of that, then elections should be rescheduled in such polling units. That will help to create confidence, trust in the electoral process. And then another area I'm also having issues with is the time of election. When a general election are concluded and the swearing in, all court matters. Disputes as regards election are supposed to be settled before swearing in.
Okay.
And also, the area they should also touch is very, very critical area. Because if you keep on having an incumbent in power under seeing the conduct of election, irrespective of the fact that on paper we have given independency to INEC, but we still believe there are still going to be some influence from the presidency or the government in power on the INEC. So if we can have an amendment that can accommodate, I don't know how it will be done, but such that the government in power will be completely, separated.
Okay.
From having any form of influence on the electoral body, so that we can have credible, and fair election in Nigeria.
I think, this particular eye that you actually told in as regards to you talking about total independence, of course, of anybody, the electoral body, of course, and of course, the executive arm of government being separated. One of my biggest conversation here is that until they allow Nigerians, the people, to vote in INEC chairman, EFCC chairman, Chief Justice of Nigeria, until then, we might not really still trust this whole process of selection, because we don't actually know if it is on merits or it is about I pick you for you to be indebted to me, But let me come to Mr. Fanimo. You made some, conversation as regards to dispute. So, sir, I'd like to ask you, how will the amendments impact the conduct of election and reduce post-election disputes? You know, and not only that, I would like to ask you this question. Is INEC totally independent?
INEC is not totally independent. There are some processes that are cumbersome and that has tied INEC to some extent to the apron strings of the executive. Now, who funds INEC? INEC is not drawing its budget directly from statutory allocation. It is funded by the executive arm of government. So each time they go, just like other MDs, they go cap in hand with their budget proposal to the executive. And the executive form, even judiciary that has a semblance of some financial autonomy, is still dependent on the federal government, the executive arm of government. So to that extent, INEC cannot be free. Who appoints the chairman of INEC? That is the chief executive. Is still the president that is also part of the executive arm of government. So how can that, anybody that is appointed as chairman of INEC will consider it as a privilege because it's just first among equals. There are over 15,000 professors.
waiting in line.
So if somebody is picked, he sees this as a favor and he feels betrothed to whoever appointed him at that moment in time. Except if there are some extraneous factors that may include ethnicity, religion, that could be at play at some point. But the optics are very clear. He who pays the piper dictates the team. So then, coming to how INEC can really shape the electoral process that would...
And the post-election disputes.
Yes. That would, So, for me, I can tell you for free that the human element in INEC and ambiguous laws are a recipe for shenanigans in INEC. There are some people that have been proven to have some measure of malfeasance in INEC. Petitions have been written against some of them, but nobody's looking at those. And so the recipe to populate a society with deviance is not to challenge the few ones that raise their heads. So I would support that INEC structure should be examined towards ensuring that only those who pass the Rubicon is taken, regardless of ethnic, social, religious leaning of such people. If you are found guilty, if you are found wanting, the best bet is to shove that person out of the system, because that will form part of the reform. It would also give a signal that it's no longer business as usual. A case in point is that of Akwa Ibom. But if somebody has been tried and found guilty, convicted, the process leading to that election should be examined. But up to today, the beneficiary of that warped electoral process is still a major player in our polity today. What does that tell you? What that tells you is that particular person is a fall guy. And every other person in INEC would have to perfect his or her act to make sure that it doesn't become a fall guy. So laws are there. We have abundant laws. Nigeria is not bereft of laws. In fact, we have had too many statutes, too many laws. But implementation, the human element in the implementation process is our bane. And until we address this, you see, when we talk about corruption, corruption is not stealing a loan. Yes, if you abuse your office to give something to somebody that does not merit it, you are corrupt. If you bend rules to favor a particular person against another person, already you are corrupt.
What if they want to give me ambassadorial level, ambassadorial, position later?
What I'm saying is...
That's what I'm saying. You don't understand? Because the former Inec man...
This is why...
It's so glaring, We didn't know that they already mentioned so many things that they were going to give to him.
This is why I said corruption is not limited to stealing cash.
Mr. Dele, I just wanted to buttress that point. The part of you talking about Akwa Ibom, it didn't just happen in Akwa Ibom. It also happened in Yobe State.
So did I mention Akwa Ibom?
Yeah, no, you mentioned both Akwa Ibom. I wanted to mention that it also happened in Yobe State. Because Ahmad Lawal did not participate in the primaries as regards to, running senatorial district. He had a ticket for presidency, which he lost at the primaries. So
and the other guy that had the ticket
Mashina,
senator,
his name was Mashina.
He insisted I was not going to book
Yes. How he collected the ticket from the guy, and INEC never said anything. They only uploaded Ahmad Lawal's name in their portal. Till today, it's still a mystery. Same thing to Akpabio. Akpabio stepped down for the president on that day. So how did he get it? Even when our electoral act says what? You can't get two tickets at the same time. So INEC needs to answer so many questions, but of course, the other man is gone and is now our ambassador. So let's look at George Amokweto now. So a final submission, Mr. Obong Thompson, what do you have to say as regards to all of this?
Well, I think sincerity and patriotism has to be called to bear in situations like this because, this begins and this is the the bedrock of development, both economically, socially, politically in Nigeria. Getting our electoral laws right will have multiple positive effects on a Nigerian nation, and building institutions. So INEC should be encouraged to come up with an academy where they train INEC officials, and let's not, and then have full independency, to operate with their academy.
Will it be possible?
They can train.
The question is, will it be possible for that particular total independence? Just like, Mr. Dele said here. Is it going to be possible? They still go, just like other MDAs, they still go with their budgets, Mr. Dele. In a situation where I know that if I have to, dance to your tune, otherwise you might not sign some things or you might not release some things. What else are we going to do?
They have, the central bank is there. It's the law that facilitates every operation of every country. Once the law is made there that, so amounts has to be released to INEC, irrespective of if the presidency approve or not, the law should be respected.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Obong Thompson. Mr. Dele, I would like to take your final note as regards to this conversation as we close it.
Nigeria.
Our country.
Fubara, INEC, vicious circle.
It is well. But of course, we just pray that this country would actually, work better, for us. Because we can't keep recycling the same problem and expecting, different results. This is how far we can actually go on the program this wonderful evening. And if you love the world of sport, I'd like you to stay put. Coming up next is Locker Room, which you should also actually, stay put because you should enjoy sports. AFCON is about to start, and we are so glued to the screen to watch, African Cup of Nations. Yes, don't give up because it is not over. Tough time doesn't last, but tough will do last. Whatsoever you're facing soon be over, and you will definitely smile again. My name remains Savior Udo. Have a good evening rest.
VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Behind every broken desk lies a broken promise. Education shapes the nations. But who is asking the right questions? Introducing Edu Dialogue, the show that goes beyond the surface, exposes the cracks, the corruption, and the silence in Nigeria's education system. Edu Dialogue, Saturdays, 3 p.m., only on VOP TV. We break the biggest stories, from missing funds to policy failures. We ask the tough questions and demand real answers. Edu Dialogue, this Saturday, 3 p.m. on Voice of the People Television.
Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things?